One of the biggest pain points and result of trauma is that we lose trust in others, but I think the worst thing is we lose trust in ourselves. We cannot dismiss your body's symptoms as really valuable data points. And by your own data, by those of you with autoimmune disease and you also have increased allergic reactions, you are already providing data and proof. Food allergies, environmental allergies, 100% at a peak and an increase for people with any autoimmune disease. And that's because we have it. We have data from our own bodies. The doctors don't. Before I came down with any autoimmune issues, before I had food allergies and food sensitivities, before I realized gluten was a big trigger for my autoimmune disease, I had no proof and data from my training, and I had no proof and data from my own body. Number 1 and 2, I'm providing you guys the training, and I do with all the programs we work with, everybody we work with. And number 2, you're providing proof from data from your own body. I want you to believe your body. We're talking about lies or misconceptions that doctors believe. You look at the converse of what a lie is, what's the truth? And I want everybody in here to really tap into your innate intuitiveness of knowing what is truth about your own health and your own body and your own mind. One of the biggest pain points and result of trauma is that we lose trust in others, but I think the worst thing is we lose trust in ourselves. So what is the biggest, most important lesson here that I'm talking about is I want you guys to realize that the only way out of this is self-trust. How do I commit to a plan and action steps to gain my self-trust? Because they believe in lies and misconceptions. You need to gain trust. Number 1, they didn't get the education. You do. That's what we do when you guys work with me and our team on any of our programs. We want to talk to you because I want to know what's going on with your health and see if it's something that we can help with, because I want to educate you to gain your self-trust back. Committing to your own education is really important because the only way we can combat lies, misinformation, or misconceptions is number 1, you, me, myself, and I commit to our own education. And number 2, I want you to start listening to your body as data. I believe her. The number 1 most important tool to calm autoimmunity is to know that food is related to it. And number 2 is to identify how food is related to it. So there's 2 major ways that food contributes to autoimmune attack, and worsening that attack is number 1, could absolutely be allergic related. So if your immune system suspects when it sees a food and it says, oh my gosh, it's a food, I'm allergic to it, it's going to send all these soldiers to attack it, and it's going to raise all sorts of red flags in your body. We call it inflammatory factors. And it literally becomes this war zone in your gut and throughout your body, because what happens is when one branch of your immune system is going nuts, whether it's attacking your own body or it's attacking food, the other branches go nuts too. Every time you do have true food triggered autoimmune attacks, there's a real reaction to that. It's not just a reaction to that food right there. Everything else your body's attacking with the immune system is also increased. That's one of the reasons that I'm going to talk about gluten, the link between gluten and autoimmune. What happens is that gluten is a super trigger. The way the gluten molecule looks, I call it a little human-y. When you consume the gluten isn't just gluten. The way the molecule looks, your body sees it and it kind of looks like cells of your own body, but not. But when it does, it triggers your immune system to say, oh my gosh, I need to attack this, just like I do autoimmune parts. So it's a really interesting mechanism. But gluten really is, if you have autoimmune disease or you are gluten sensitive, triggers a super attack. It ignites the immune system to attack everywhere else more. So it makes everything worse that's autoimmune, and it's not even immediate food related reaction. Can reactions to food get worse over time? Yes. And it's repeated exposures. We're not all born with certain types of allergies. At some point it starts. One of the reasons that a food reaction or a food allergy can actually start at a later point in life is repeated exposures worsen it. And then the other aspect of it is that digestion, our ability to digest food and the food allergens decrease over time, or there could be other assaults on it. At any point, if your digestion gets worse over time, food allergies start to go sky high, and the amount of food allergens in your body goes sky high. One of the misconceptions doctors have is that if it's not an immediate, what we call IgE food allergy, meaning you eat shrimp and your lips swell up, you eat peanut, your lips swell up, you can't breathe. That's an immediate, what we call IgE, anaphylactic allergic reaction. Doctors believe that if that's not the reaction that you have to food, then all the other types of food reactions don't exist. They're wrong. They're in your head. Is that true? That's the only way I react to food. How, listening to her, does my body actually react to food? Start writing it down. And I want you to do this because I want you to validate yourself, and I want for us to validate each other collectively. I want an intention here to validate each other that our food reactions are real. Our bodies are really intelligent spiritual beings that collect scientific data, and it's talking to us 24/7 a day. All of you guys that have food reactions that are not the immediate anaphylactic reactions, and you know you react to food, what do you believe your body has been telling you all along? 50% of the reactions that you have when you eat food isn't even allergic related. Typically, I see it's digestion related. So if you have a digestion problem, you can't break down or digest the food. When you eat the food, you still react to it, but is it because it's allergic or is it because you can't digest the darn thing? Can digestion cause food intake related reactions? And I hope the answer is going to be boom in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. And what? Hell yes. To figure out the root cause that's underlying your chronic disease or symptom, click the link above or below this video and register for the training. We'll see you there.